Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Well, it's like 41 degrees outside and there's still snow all over the place, so the trails will be a while before they open up. But I have two bikes I've been itching to try, and the road's dry enough for me to at least ride these two bikes and get a feel for how they handle and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll just put my GoPro on and go for it. So the two bikes I'm gonna just pedal around and try are my single speed Mullet Build. I don't want to get them all dirty and nasty and salty, so I'm gonna stay on the dry pavement. But I can manual it. I can, steer it around, accelerate with it and stuff like that, and just get an overall feel of how this bike rides. And because I'm very experienced at riding, I can pretty much estimate what I like and don't like about this bike before I even take it off road, right? And then I want to take my new Japhy out and just get an impression of how that bike feels and ride around. So that's what I'm going to do today. Just something to do because this is that time of year where fat biking is pretty much dead because the snow is too soft and slushy and mud starts to get exposed on the trails, and we don't want to ruin the trails. And we don't have dirt yet. And I did get back from Bentonville, so I got in some early dirt already. So that's awesome. So yeah, I'm going to take these bikes out and just tell you my initial impressions of how they ride. Okay, so this is what it's like outside. Like 42 degrees, but super wet and sloppy everywhere, and I don't want to get this bike super dirty. But I'm gonna go over here, here's some bumps, and kind of give it some riding initial impression. And so far, I like how it feels when rolling. But it definitely, at slow speeds, it has that kind of floppy feel. Like when I turn, it wants to like flop to the side. That's as head angles get shallower, that's what starts to happen. Okay, just making sure that car is not coming this way. So I definitely feel that, but it's not terrible, right? And once I get up to a little bit of speed, it feels super nice and stable. So I'm gonna bomb down this hill and get a feel for it, and then I'm gonna have to climb back up the hill. So here's some speed. Of course, this is single speed, remember that? There's the bike. Yeah, I mean, this is why downhill bikes, you want those slacker head angles, because they really do feel a lot more stable at speed. All right, climbing up this hill with my 3217 gearing on a 27.5 rear wheel. Yeah. Not bad, I can do it. Definitely some work. All right, let's see how this bike pops in manuals. Okay, gonna drop the seat. Good. Ooh, a little more pull for the manual. Not more pull yet. Oh, that's gonna take some getting used to. This doesn't have anything to do with this bike in particular, as it does the fact that I've been riding a BMX bike at the skate park and stuff, and I have to get used. There we go. Ah, I found it. Whew. It takes some adjustment riding a bigger bike in general. Yeah. All right, so it feels pretty good. Like, I think I'm gonna like this. I don't know if I'll like this at like a tight trail like Theodore Worth. I guess we'll find out when I get there. But I think on a more wide open trail, say like I say like Elm Creek up here in the Twin Cities is a more wide open, faster paced trail. I think I'll actually like this bike at a place like that, but I won't really know until I give it a try on those trails. So there you have it on this bike. Stop, take a quick look at it. Oh, it is a beaut. I love how this bike looks. Oh my gosh, yeah, it is cool. This side, let's go flip it around so you can get some sun on there. I mean, we haven't seen this bike in the sun yet because of the been sitting in my basement. I'm liking these Hunt trail wide rims, so we'll get to try those out. And these wolf tooth pedals, I do have my 510s on, and I can tell you right now I will not have any complaints. These are grippy. They feel really nice, and I actually, believe it or not, I can feel that subtle concave that I really like in pedals. And I got traffic. It's funny because there's a high school nearby, and it's like when the school lets out, it's all these kids driving through the neighborhood. All right, let's go get the other bike. Check out the Japhy. Wow. Okay, time to grab this bike and take it outside and see how I like it. I'm excited about this too. This is gonna be such a fun summer to have all these bikes to experiment around with. And I got those 29er wheels with 2.2 fast rolling tires. Sweet. So I did forget to mention, because you'd have to be following my channel to know, but this is a mullet. So 27.5 rear, 29 front. And this is 29er both, and a bit more. The Japhy is more of an aggressive geometry, meaning a little slacker and things like that than the Hayduke frame. But in this configuration with the Hayduke, the Hayduke is pretty slack. Compared to my titanium Hayduke, though, with 27.5 wheels, the Japhy is definitely going to be a more aggressive ride. So let's get out and ride this and get kind of my first assessment of it. So right off the bat, I haven't even gotten past this crappy rough road and puddles yet. This bike feels beefier. I guess that's the way I want to say it. It just definitely feels, I can definitely tell it's got 29-inch wheels on it, which is interesting. The brakes haven't been broken in yet, so I gotta keep that in mind. Yep, need to bed these brakes in because they hardly work. When you get a bike that's brand new, make sure you do this process to get the brakes bedded in before you get out on dirt. Yeah, interesting. God, they ride so different. Oh, this fork is very different too. Wow, it's so wild how these bikes can feel so different. I mean, they're both size small. I can tell you this bike feels like a truck and it just wants to plow through things. Here, let's give it some. I can't manual. Oh gosh, it actually pops up pretty easily. I'm confused. Let me bed in these brakes and then I'm gonna actually try a manual and I'll do that downhill run. But without the brakes working very good, I don't want to do that yet. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do this downhill. I'm gonna get about the same amount of speed as I did on the last bike. And then we're going to do the manual and then the jump. So the brakes are doing better. Maybe they'll get even better after this downhill. Let's see. I mean, it is so interesting. This bike has gears, so going back up won't be so bad. So in climbing on a single speed, you have to stand and just hammer up the hill. On a geared bike, you can get into an easy gear and just take your time going up. Very different strategies. So I'm gonna add this in right now just so you know. I'm gonna add more upper chamber air to this fork because this is too far. Yep, just doing a video.
Oh, sorry.
So this is too far, too much sag for my liking, especially for the fork. I generally like 25, maybe 30%, so I gotta mess around with the fork settings a little bit. It feels too soft, so I have to play with it to get it to where I feel okay with it. All right, anyway, let's do the manual and bunny hop test. Of course, it's gonna be easier for me to manual because I already did it on my other bike, so I know how hard I need to pull. And now I just definitely need practice. Yeah, it doesn't feel quite as easy or poppy as the Hayduke, but the Hayduke has a 27.5 wheel on the back. This is 29-inch wheel on both front and back, and I also know that I have some room to move the wheel in a little bit more if I want shorter chain stays. So I'll probably do that and get the front end to be a little more poppy. Traffic, people. All right, so of course if it's not gonna manual how I want it, it's not gonna bunny hop. Oh, well, take that back. Bunny hop's pretty nice. So when I first got on this bike, I kind of had this initial like, oh, I don't know if I really like it, but now that I've pedaled it around a little more, I started to kind of adjust to it and starting to like it more. So I don't, you know, give yourself time on a bike before you make a judgment. It's basically what I'm saying. 29-inch wheels. There's gonna be a lot going on this summer. You know, do I like 27.5? Do I like 29? 29 with a more modern progressive geometry and so on and so forth. It's going to be really interesting when I start hitting the trail with these two bikes, how I feel. And then of course the yellow one is the one that I have plans to do all kinds of changes and adjustments to see how those changes affect it. This one I'm just going to review it pretty much as is. I mean, I might do some stuff to it, but we'll see. Cool. These are Shimano XT pedals, and there's no concave, there's no traction on there. All that I'm relying on is the pins, 100% the pins. I actually do not like these pedals, and it's kind of funny. Maybe it's just because of me and I'm really picky and know what I like, but the wolf tooth pedals feel 1,000 times better than these two. Like, I notice it, and I don't, these death pins, I don't know. I feel like shorter pins and more design in the pedal to give you traction is the way to go. I don't think that just making long pins and being the only solution to make pedals grip better. So like ergonomics wise, like my feet feel like they're on flat pedals. I don't feel like they're fitting into the pedals. So yeah, that's kind of my point. Like the wolf tooth pedals actually feel like they're designed for human feet to be on them. Fun to get out and pedal around, eh? Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, in conclusion, what do I think? Well, things are more flipped than what I thought. So this bike felt a little more snappy, didn't have that floppy feel at slow speed, things like that. And I have a lot yet to set up correctly on this bike. If you look, my fork should not be sagging this much, just riding around in the street, doing a couple manuals and a couple bunny hops. So I need to definitely get the fork set up how I want it. I might need some volume spacers. That's a sign that I probably need volume spacers. And I want to get pedals that I actually like on this. I do not like those XT pedals. I actually like these 1-Up pedals quite a bit. And I love the Wolf Tooth waveform pedals. Love them, but I'm not going to buy $200 pedals for each of my bikes, so I'll probably go more with like the 1-Up pedals or something, because I know I like those too, right? So yeah, this bike felt more stable going down the hill, but it had that floppy feel at slow speed. So those things align. You know, a bike that's got that kind of floppy feel at slow speed and stuff is going to be more stable at speed. A bike that's slacker will be more stable at speed, but will feel a little funny at slow speeds. And then this bike felt less stable on the hill bomb. And I'm saying that with a grain of salt. I don't mean it's sketchy. I could just tell that it was a little twitchier or whatever, and it wasn't just a solid line going down the hill like that bike felt. So awesome. I won't be riding these bikes until we get full snow melt and trails open up, because I don't want to get them all sloppy. My Fargo is hanging there. I will get out and ride that bike in the slop, because I can just clean it and so on and so forth. And that bike's gonna do some events this year. Meesville 56, Filthy 50, all of that. It can probably get completely mucked up, and I'll just maintain it and keep it clean. I did put wider bars on it. I put 48 cow chipper, I believe they're called, handlebars on it. That's the only thing I've changed on it so far. Well, in the chainring, I went with an aluminum chainring instead of the stock steel one. Wolf Tooth. I love that company. All right, there you have it. That is kind of my initial assessment of these bikes without hitting dirt. I can't wait to hit dirt. Super stoked about spring and having this experimental build that I can do all these things with and really tweak things, find out what I like, what I don't like, how different things affect the bike, and talk to you people out there about it all. Don't forget, got the Grand Canyon coming, also some review on that bike, so on and so forth. Lots going on. I'm super excited that spring is almost here. Well, spring is here, but it's not, the snow hasn't melted yet is what I mean. You saw how much snow is out there. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.